Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. RCMP issued a dangerous person alert for an active shooter in Pelican Narrows. The alert was issued this afternoon with the RCMP saying the shooter was at the health clinic. He was on foot and dressed in black with a face covering. Police were telling people in the community and surrounding areas to find a safe place to be and lock the doors, and if they see the suspect, do not approach them. One RM is under evacuation order while others are on standby waiting for updates as wildfires threaten a number of Saskatchewan communities. About 130 people have been evacuated from the RM of Shellbrook after a notice was posted on Friday evening. While the town of Shellbrook is not currently under an evacuation notice, the community's Elks Hall is serving as a check-in center for those to the south who had to leave their homes. According to the province, a number of efforts are being made from fire crews to deter the blaze from moving closer to more communities in the area.
So to put in place some strategic, I think, containment initiatives so that should the wind shift, that we are protecting the communities to the east, on the eastern flank of this fire in particular, on the north side of the river, that would be Holbein, Crutwell, running right into the city of Prince Albert, and on the south side of the river.
The lobstick fire threatening the Shellbrook area is one of two significant uncontained wildfires in the province at this time. Workers at a local Saskatoon restaurant are among those displaced by Friday's fire in Hampton Village. The fire destroyed 4 homes on Geary Crescent. 4 employees of Da India Curry House were living in one of them. The restaurant's owner says 2 of the workers escaped with only the clothes on their backs, running from the fire without even the shoes on their feet. He says they've lost everything, including passports, clothing, and other personal belongings.
They gave me a video call, but they were all crying. Everybody was crying because they lost their passports and everything. And not just that, documents and jewelry and valuables are apart from the memories, right, which they accumulated in that house for the last 2 years.
The restaurant has launched a GoFundMe campaign to help the workers replace essential belongings and find long-term housing. The Saskatoon Fire Department says it could be months or years before we know the cause of that fire that destroyed 4 homes last week, if we get any answer at all. 4 homes and 6 garages burned to the ground in Saskatoon's Hampton Village neighborhood on Friday with a temperature above 30 degrees and wind above 30 kilometers per hour. The fire department says because of busy weekend with fires elsewhere and the size of the fire, the investigation will take some time. The investigator needs to interview everyone living in the destroyed homes, witnesses, and review photos and video. Raymer says everyone was insured, no one needed emergency housing, and an excavator has leveled all of the homes on the weekend to prevent anything from reigniting. By the time the fire was out, 20 properties had some form of damage.
Still under investigation at this time. I will say we will be very factual and thorough before we give a cause and origin determination, but at the end of the day it may also be an undetermined. So that is a fact of fire investigations based on what is seeing.
Raymer says at this point nothing is being ruled out and the investigator isn't working to find an origin as soon as possible, but as soon as practical. It's been 1 year since Hudson's Bay closed at Saskatoon's Midtown Plaza, leaving a major vacancy in downtown Saskatoon. Now, the recent closure of Toys R Us has created another large empty retail space nearby. Business leaders say shopping traffic remains strong downtown, and some see these vacancies as an opportunity for new investment and development in the city's core. Some shoppers we spoke to say there's a void in the downtown without the anchor tenant at the mall, and getting it filled would be beneficial. Shauna Nelson with Downtown Saskatoon says many businesses continue to report positive sales and strong customer support, so she's not seeing the absence of these 2 retailers as a major stumbling block at the moment.
Had some discussions with Midtown and just, some of the businesses that are within the mall, and traffic is still there, and the retail spend is still there, if not better. So I feel that the Bay leaving hasn't really impacted like some of those thought that it would, not only for the mall but also within our district as well.
One retail expert from the University of Saskatchewan says large department stores are being less common and the spaces may need to be redeveloped or divided for new uses, but that will take some time to secure. With the one-year anniversary of the Denair Beach wildfire devastation tomorrow and another active wildfire season underway, the NDP is calling on the provincial government to release an independent review of the 2025 wildfire response. Consulting firm MNP was selected last October to conduct the review, which was originally expected to be complete before the 2026 wildfire season. But during the spring legislative session, the Community Safety Minister said the review had been granted an extension until the end of spring. The NDP says many questions remain unanswered, while Premier Scott Moe says the report will be released as soon as the government is able.
We have serious questions about the fire response. We have serious questions about the communications coming from SPSA, from Red Cross, the financial supports, insurance issues. The list just goes on and on.
We'll release a report as as soon as we're able, and if there's recommendations that are in that report, we're going to try to address them as quickly as possible.
Moe says the review could help inform a broader conversation about improving wildfire response and support for evacuees. Well, Jeff, hopefully some of this rain is helping around the province as fires are starting to pick up early.
They really are. And goodness knows we do hope that the rain that we are getting, not only is helping farmers, but we hope it is impacting some of those areas that are dealing with the wildfires. And right to that relatively robust low pressure center, you see it sort of anchored down sort of the triangle or down the corners there of Montana, Alberta, and Saskatchewan. And on the backhand side of it, we still have a lot of rain making its way through south central, or rather through central parts of the province. A lot more in the way of rain going on in Alberta. Rain warnings are in effect for that part of the nation. But we're going to keep our eye on this. And as John was mentioning, we certainly do hope that some of this rain is getting to those fire areas that are being impacted here in Saskatchewan.
2 homes in Warman were destroyed and several others damaged after a fire on Friday evening. According to Warman Fire Rescue, crews were called to Redwood Crescent shortly after 6 o'clock, where 2 homes were engulfed in flames. Additional crews from Martinsville and Osler-Dalmeny were called in to assist. According to Warman Fire Rescue, the occupants of the homes and firefighters are all unharmed, and fire is not considered suspicious. Regina Police Service is reminding residents around the province not to fall for grandparent scams. So far this year, they've received 13 reports with scammers stealing around $75,000. Scammers rely on your emotions and urgency to trick you, and that's why police recommend you not react quickly if you receive one of these calls.
Your grandson's here, call your family members, whatever. The police will never put a gag order on you, nor will we ever call to ask for money, neither will the courts. If you ever have any questions, hang up the phone, call the police, and we'll be happy to tell you if it's a scam or not. And if it's not a scam, how you go about doing that. But like I said, we'll never ask for money, neither will the courts, so any of these calls are going to be scams.
Police say there is a slim chance the money can be recovered, with only $16,000 having been recovered from the $75,000 stolen so far this year. Workers are wanted in Saskatchewan's mining industry. Members of the mining industry gathered at the University of Saskatchewan this morning to mark the start of Mining Week. The Saskatchewan mining industry says it will need 15,000 new employees to work in the trades and engineering in the next 10 years. It says it's working with its partners to fill those positions.
To increase the mining labor pool, we're working closely with the government and industry to promote career opportunities in mining and collaborating with post-secondary institutions for training that will attract a new generation of talented employees that will underpin the success of Saskatchewan's mining sector.
According to data collected by the province, the average salary for an employee in the mining industry is just over $155,000 per year. When we come back, a chance to learn the basics of Latin dance. Jasmine Peltier gets the details on Salsa at Kinsmen Park.
I am with Tia Holash, Arts and Culture Coordinator for the City of Prince Albert, to talk about the upcoming Salsa in Kinsmen Park. This is the first time you guys are doing this event, right? Where did the idea come from?
Yes, this is our very first time doing this event. And the idea came from our programmer, Shania, here at the Art Center. She had been to a salsa on the river in Saskatoon, and it was such a great program event for folks that she wanted to bring it here to Prince Albert for our community members. And that's where it happened.
What is Salsa in Kinsmen Park? Is it like a lesson, or what is happening?
Yes, so it is a 2-hour event, and the first hour will be a short lesson on salsa dancing, and then the other hour is going to be like a social dance, just everybody using their newfound salsa skills, and it's open to all ages, so you don't need any experience, you just need to come ready to learn and have some fun.
Could you give some background information on the instructor for this class?
Yes, so our instructor is Keith Hitchings. He is from Saskatoon, and him and his co-host, Gil Campbell, they run it in Saskatoon, and so he has had lots of experience doing that over the summers in Saskatoon, and so he was super pumped to come to PA and bring it to the city of PA.
It is in Kinsmen Park, but I think more specifically where in the park, and what date and time should people be there?
So it's happening in Kinsmen Park in the amphitheater. So that's that big stage that has that big covering over it, right? And the date is Saturday, June 13th, starting at 7 o'clock, and it'll run till about 9 o'clock.
Is there an expectation for how many people are going to be there? Is this sort of just a drop-in thing, or what are you, I guess, anticipating for numbers, seeing as this is the first time it's happening?
Yeah, so to have an idea of numbers, we really encourage people to register beforehand. Even though it is a free event, you can register on the City of PA's website, or you can call the Arts Center here, and otherwise you can just drop in too. If you want to check it out, just swing by to see how it's going. Yeah, we're anticipating like a handful of folks, but obviously we want to spread the word, get lots of people aware of it, and if you don't sign up, it's okay, still come and check it out.
Is salsa a 1 or a 2-person dance? Like, I'm wondering, do you have to come in pairs, or how does that work?
Yeah, that's a great question. So ideally, yes, you have a partner, but if you don't, then I still would encourage you to come and learn. I'm sure there's going to be other individuals that need somebody to dance with. So yeah, come along, even if you don't have a partner.
Are there any other like events or activities coming up that it might be worth mentioning now that I have you here?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Margot Fournier Art Center has the summer guide out, and it has a variety of arts programs for youth and adults, everybody in between, and you can check it out on the City of PA's website, and you can also just come to the Art Center. We have a physical copy here, and there's all sorts of programming to take part in from June all the way to August.
Okay, well, thank you for speaking with me.
Thanks so much, Jasmine.
When we come back, Jeff has the weather forecast for us, and doctors in the UK find promising results from a new cancer treatment. Well, Jeff, I hope you brought your galoshes with you, because it's starting to look a little bit soggy out there.
It is going to be a little soggy, and that's for certain for a number of locations. And then as we take a look at what's going on with the Prince Albert and Gateway City region and Lakeland region, as some of this rain is going to have an impact on that part. And actually this low is going to sort of cycle a little bit in a bit of a northeasterly fashion. Because of those factors taken together, John, we are anticipating more in the way of rain for the, I think I said snow, rain for the area, and a lot more of that as we make our way into the next couple of days. So in the Prince Albert area, we might see up to to 10 millimeters of rain in the next 24 hours. So I have to keep our eye on all of that. So here's the computer modeling, and that's what I was talking about. You can sort of see the bullseye of that low sort of cycling up in a bit of a northeasterly fashion now. Of course, the bulk of the moisture is going to fall in Alberta, but some of it definitely going to make its way into other parts of Saskatchewan as well. Here we go with our numbers overnight. So 9 degrees in Spiritwood and the Battlefords. Again, partly cloudy skies, a risk of a thunderstorm, maybe some local smoke in some areas, but ultimately we've got ourselves about a 60% chance of some showers overnight. And then 10 degrees in Candle Lake, 9 in Birch Hills and in Rostern, 11 in Nipawin, and 10 degrees in Melfort with some showers. And so, yes, rain's in the forecast for many locations overnight. And then as we roll into Tuesday, we have, as part of that system that I was indicating earlier on, some of it is going to show up in the form of thunderstorms, or at least there's the risk of a thunderstorm. Spiritwood showers in 19, a similar situation for the Battlefords in terms of temperatures, but just cloudy skies expected in the Battlefords region tomorrow. Possibility of thunderstorms and showers in Candle Lake, ditto that for Birch Hills and for Rostern and Melfort. And in Nipawin, where they've had some pretty hot temperatures will cool off, but that's still going to be above seasonal, and there's a chance of showers for Tuesday as well. Let's take a closer look at what's going on in Prince Albert. So tonight, 10 degrees the expected overnight temperature, a pretty good chance of showers, winds out of the east at 20, but backing off in the overnight period. But then as we roll into tomorrow, we're expecting more in the way of cloud cover and a pretty reasonable chance of some showers or rain. As I mentioned, the Prince Albert area could see up to 10 millimeters of rain. Winds out of the east at 30, so yeah, it's going to be a bit of a driving rain in some respects. And then as we take a look at the long-range forecast, we've got ourselves 70%, as I mentioned, the very good chance of showers on Tuesday. Wednesday, good chance of showers, but cooling off to 16, 18 on Thursday, 23 on Friday, warming up to 24 on Saturday, backing off a little bit on Sunday, due in part to a possibility of some showers. And then 1 week from today, mainly cloudy skies and 24 degrees.
And we'll have to keep our eye on that Saturday evening for the Salsa at Kinsmen Park.
Yes.
Might have to move it under a roof if it rains, but
that's right.
There you go. Do you know how to salsa?
No.
Me either.
Yeah,
I can line dance.
I can with a tortilla chip.
There you go. Yeah. All right. Well, there you go, Jeff. Well, after a slow start to their inaugural season under the new team name, the Saskatoon Mamba have heated up on the weekend.
Here, wonder who they're going to go to. Tavian Jones opens up and hits for 3.
Tevian Jones hit that 3-ball before sealing the game from the foul line with a target score of 90-88. The win gives the Mamba its first win streak, now sitting at 2-4 on the season after a narrow 100-98 victory over Winnipeg Friday night. The Mamba head on the road now to face the Vancouver Bandits Saturday, followed by a trip to Calgary against the Surge next week. And after 2 convincing wins in Weyburn to open play on another WCBL season, the Saskatoon Berries played host for a weekend set.
That will get into the warning track. Stinson is bobbled in center field. Stinson turns second and heads for third, and he'll get there. And now he's going to continue on for home plate, and he will score.
Nick Stinson's inside the park home run was part of a stellar performance. He went 4 for 4 at the plate, stole a base, and had 2 RBI. Then on Sunday, the Berries failed to capitalize on a 6-run third inning, eventually dropping the game 9-8 at home. Up next for the 3-1 Berries is a playoff rematch with the Red Sox Tuesday in Regina. The Saskatchewan Roughriders have unveiled their Grey Cup championship rings. This is the ring presented to players, coaches, and staff during a special private ceremony last night. They were crafted by Barron Championship Rings and were designed with the help of several players and head coach Corey Mace, as well as GM Jeremy O'Day. It features 5 stones symbolizing the team's 5 championships, a football along with an under area showcasing the stadium.
Do you have a community event you would like to promote? Or maybe you'd like to draw attention to your organization. Let your local CTV station help you spread the word. Contact us at 306-922-6020 or email panews@ctv.ca. You can appear on CTV Prince Albert's News at 5 and get your message to our viewers.
Doctors in the United Kingdom are praising the trial results of a cancer treatment that's managed to eliminate entire tumors in some patients. Researchers at London's Institute of Cancer say the amivantamab injection was offered to patients whose cancer had spread, come back, or failed to respond to standard treatments. The drug targets cancer cells and blocks multiple signals that help those cells grow and spread. Results from the clinical trial showed the injection reduced tumor sizes in 43 of the 102 patients treated. In 15 of those cases, the tumors completely disappeared. Experts say the findings are highly encouraging.
New EGFR drugs like amivantamab are showing strong promise in HPV-negative head and neck cancers, and this will hopefully improve response and durability and hopefully improve survival and outcomes so that, many years are possible even when recurrent metastatic disease occurs.
Head and neck cancer is the 6th most common cancer worldwide, affecting thousands of Canadians each year. All right, Jeff, 4 sisters in Regina, all in their 90s, celebrated a milestone birthday for one of their members of the family.
To you, happy birthday, dear Molly.
In honor of Polly Everly turning 100 years old, hundreds of friends and family came out to wish her, including her 3 sisters, who are at the age of 93, 94, and 96. The family grew up in southeast Saskatchewan, farming in the Fillmore and Momar areas. The sisters say it's a privilege to be so close to one another.
We feel old because my sister is the oldest. I'll dance yet. I can't see very good, eh? Otherwise, I'm 100 perfectly.
Family members say they wonder if they carry the same good genes to live as long as the 4 sisters. And I wonder if there's an argument between those 4, who's going to win it?
You know what? I wouldn't even want to guess. I wouldn't even want to hazard a guess on that. But wow, 100 years old and the other women in their 90s, very impressive. Yeah.
Always fun. Always cool to see a big time birthday party. Get everybody from probably hours and hours away to get together and celebrate a big birthday. So I hope I make it to 100, and I hope I have that many friends at my birthday, Jeff.
There you go.
You're invited.
Thank you so much.